Well, hey there, all you folks. I don't know if you are on the naughty or the nice list this year. That isn't for me to decide. But what is decided by me is that we're going to launch into a series of things this week that made me say, a damn. The second half of the show is going to be a bit a dumb, but we will have an iconic guest back. Miss Shelby Daniel will be back here at the second half of the show, talking all things Christmas related. And if you follow Shelby on the social media game, you will know that she gives a lot of output and outpouring love to what you should be buying for your beloved this Christmas season. So if you still need gift ideas, definitely go check out her page. And I'll tell you the handle in the second half because I certainly don't have it memorized in the first. And this is my show and I don't need to plug it yet. Okay? So, first and foremost, I'm dressed in a robe because it's like freaking 6 a.m. here. I'm in North Carolina staying with my family. This is the only time that I have to myself that I can actually do the freaking podcast. We've got a million things planned, including we've got a kindergartner that we are babysitting tomorrow that we're neither related to nor knew before yesterday. It might be a kidnapping. I'm really not confident that I know what it is, and I honestly shouldn't be making that joke because there's a woman who this past week was living in Florida, or she is living in Florida. I don't know her address, whatever. Who cares about that part? I don't know if she's decorated for the holidays yet, but she would have wanted to do that before last week because this current week she was in jail for telling someone on the phone, you know how this call may be recorded for quality assurance when they say that. Well, her quality was unassured and now probably uninsured. For the insurance person on the other end of the phone felt threatened. I don't know if everyone's having sort of a traumatic response because Luigi, the non Mario version, did end up taking the life of someone in the United Healthcare CEO format. And this woman basically said to the person on the call, you know, you people are next, because she was really disgruntled and upset with her own policy issues that she was having. She got arrested for what she said. I don't know the full call. What I've seen from the headlines, it doesn't look like she should have been arrested for that. But am I a lawyer? Do I live in Florida? Am I really trying to test anyone right now? No. I definitely am not a fuck around and find out kind of individual. So, you know what? She's on house arrest now. She's a mother of three. I don't really know why these insurance people are able to get away with what they do. They're definitely running a gamut on all of us. And I need to make sure my microphone is on while I'm saying this, or actually maybe turn it off. I'm not sure, but it's a little scary to think that people are not really able to have the freedom of speech that they claim that they should be able to have. But when it comes to hate speech on minority groups, they're allowed to say whatever they want. And I'll just leave it there. It's distressing. All right. So, oh, my mom just texted me. Linda LaFay has something to say. She's spoken up. She will not be babysitting nor kidnapping that child. So that joke is needing to be cut for time, but I only have 22 minutes to edit the podcast together, and you will know that when you listen. Let's hop right in. You know, I was wondering this morning, do people still drink eggnog? And I did Google it. And by Google, I mean I asked AI. Because that's how Google works now. AI tells you what it thinks. And we just listen to it, you know, or we just read it, depending on if you need it read aloud or if you're reading it yourself. And that's a little bit scary to me because I don't know if this AI is just messing with us. But what it said is that, not me using this as a source, it's on the Google, okay? You can't even see my screen. Great. You can see my robe, but you can't see the screen. Thanks, Zoom. Love you so much for that. That Americans typically around the holidays will drink tea, which was a shock to me, 78%. Now, is it hot tea or is it cold tea? It didn't specify, but I would venture to gather that it is the cold tea because I'm in the South and everybody is just drinking sweet tea. I like it unsugared because the only Ozempic that I plan to take is for weight loss eventually. I don't want it for the diabetic format. And I know that was scandalous to say 2 to 3 years ago, but I say it with my full chest now, okay? Wizard of Ozempic, thanks. Apple cider, 67% of people are drinking that, and only about 55% are drinking eggnog, to which I say, that's more than half, and the glass is empty on my end. Don't refill it. I don't want it. I don't know why you're compelled to mess around. Trying to limit my curse words here. John said I'm doing it too much. Why are you doing egg in a drink? Like, you want a cup of salmonella? Nothing says the holiday's like a sick day. And that's several blinks coming your way from my eyes to say, clear your eyes, look at what you could be doing, get it together. That sounds disgusting. Moving on, I signed up for pickleball. In the new year, I'm going to be doing pickleball. It starts at the end of January, so the first match that I do, you will hear about when we come back from break. I don't know if we're calling it season 2 or if we're still calling it season 1. Does it matter? It's going to be the same album cover. I'm not reshooting that. That took forever to edit. But I'm really excited. It's a gay league, and maybe I shouldn't be saying that. I'm not trying to get targeted. It's a straight league. It's for straight people. I will be it'll be for the heteros, and we will be playing ball pickle. The pickles will be on the ball, and that sounds disgusting when you say it like that. And header, no. Nuh-uh. It's going to be fun, though, I think. In advance, I'm just going to go on the record and say it's a team of doubles, and it's not a predetermined team. So I get to switch through the roster and meet a lot of new people this way. I don't know how many people sign up for it. I definitely sign up for beginner. I'm not confident in the arena of the pickleball yet. I played tennis a little bit in middle school, but it's been years and years because I'm not 15. Shocker, I know the skin is giving youth, but the age bracket is double that. So it's been a minute since I've really been on the court like this, okay? Or been in one. I worked for a couple of lawyers, but I haven't been in a court or on one in many years, thankfully. And hopefully the segment where I talked about the healthcare doesn't put me in one, because I'm really, again, not trying to F around and find out. I didn't curse that time, okay? You're welcome, everyone in the house. Mariah Carey, oh, yes, this is exciting news. I don't know if you can carry a tune or not, but this is obviously the season of Mariah Carey, and there's 2 really exciting performances that are going to come out on Christmas Day. People messaged and they said, I don't want to have something stressful to listen to from your podcast this week when you do Hot Topics. So I'm going to talk about mostly things that you could watch with your family over the holidays, or by yourself if you happen to be alone and want something to do activity-wise. Obviously, I watch a lot of TV. I'm not going to talk about reality formats. You already know shows from previous that I watch, such as Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Potomac is having a great season currently, and House of Villains if you need something to watch. Now, here's 2 exciting performances we're going to have over the Christmas season. On Christmas Day, Netflix has some sort of contract with the NFL, and they're trying to make us watch more than the Super Bowl these days. So they're going to have 2 different games going on Christmas Day. Nobody works harder than Santa. Wrong. Nobody works harder than the NFL. And Mariah Carey's having a performance at some point with 2 teams that I don't care to name. And then Beyonce is also doing a halftime show with her local Houston team. And I think they're called... they're not the Cowboys, because that's Dallas. Houston Hooters? Houston Hosier? No, that's a different singer. The Houston Cavaliers? Nope, that's Henry Cavill that I just made into a name, isn't it? Yeah, it is. The Cavaliers. Is that his ship name? You know, Rihanna's got like the Navy. They called her fans are called the Navy. Lady Gaga's are called the Ha-Has. And then I don't know. I guess Kesha's are called the dollar bills. Why does she have a dollar bill in her name? I'll never understand that. But good for her. You know, get that money, girl. Get that money. I just hope that you know that by putting a dollar sign in your name doesn't equate dollar bills. It's like going to Monopoly The board game. I don't know if there's a Monopoly that you can go to. Well, I mean, Elon's kind of running one, and so is Amazon. Now, you could go, if you're them, you're a Monopoly. But other than them, if you're not those two individuals, those two Scrooges, I don't know what the Monopoly would be. But if you play Monopoly and you just like take more of the money, you don't actually have more money. Just something to think on this holiday season. Here's some more things you could watch because you're like enough of that, and I am too. Beyonce's halftime show is only going to be 12 to 15 minutes long, which will be wonderful and will be really graced with some great performances from that. I was hoping it would take up the whole hour and a half because I don't really know why they really think I'm going to be out here watching these sporting events. And Netflix is what's going on with the contracts? Like I thought you had to have the basic package of like CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox in order to watch sports or ESPN. I've avoided those channels for years because I don't want to watch sports, not on accident and definitely not on purpose. And when I'm at a bar that plays them, I face the other direction, which is odd for anyone that's around me because it's like, that's not really couth to do. It's uncouth. And I don't know how to define that word. So if you want to, you can, but just know that it's not the couth, so it must be whatever couth means. It's like when you go in an elevator and if you were to face not the door and you face the individuals, just picture that in a bar. That's what I'm doing because I don't want to watch sports. I mean, bless my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, love you both, but every time I go to their house, they play sports on the TV. And I will actively face the wall. I'll turn a chair around. I'm not above it, as the Brits would say. I'm not above it. I don't know why everybody's so obsessed with sports. But then they're probably asking why am I so obsessed with the Housewives? And to that I say, kudos. But you're wrong and I'm correct. Yeah, she's going to do a 12 to 15 minute performance. And what I find funny about this, I'm talking about Beyonce, is that her rep had to say, the rumors that it's going to be a 20-minute performance are wrong. That's only 8 more minutes. Like, you could just do it. Just do it. Just why not? Just do it. Okay? Who's to stop it? Here's a great show for you guys to all watch, and you should do this. You should stop what you're doing, including listening to my podcast, and you should just go watch this instead because I'm a little bit hamster-like. I'm always spinning on a wheel over here, right? Well, the dealio is that on a wheelio spinning is hamsters sometimes, and there's this amazing show called Human versus Hamster. It's on Max. It's probably on Discovery Plus. It's through the Magnolia Network. There's 8 episodes. It's hosted by a girl from SNL that I literally don't know the name of. You could put the name in front of me, don't know her, but she wears really loud, sort of obnoxious outfits, but they work really well for this. Basically, humans have to compete against hamsters on human-sized hamster-looking things, like climbing through the tunnel, spinning on the wheel, getting to the prize, whatever. And from what I've seen so far, it's neck and neck. Like, it's not guaranteed that the humans are going to win. I don't care if it's how it's edited. It's riveting television. Watch it. It's like 48 minutes long. Drink your fucking eggnog. Sorry, I didn't mean to so on the naughty list this year. But drink your salmonella juice and just really enjoy your time together with your family as you throw up and soil yourselves. It's fun. It's a good time. Not the sickness, but the human versus the hamster. And what's really cute is that girl that I literally don't know the name of from SNL that is the host of this thing has one of her hamsters named Kevin involved in this. And that's fun. I enjoy that. I like watching a person with their pet. Now, does she really sit with Kevin? Yeah, for a second or two. Now, is Kevin sort of like, maybe working more than he should and there should maybe be labor laws protecting this little animal? No, I don't think so because it's a hamster and everyone shut up. No, that's a hot take, isn't it? Here's what I want to know. When you go to Central Park and they've still got the horses, going around in the park. When is AI going to drive the cab? You know what I mean? Like, where's an AI horse? Can we get that going? Like, does AI need to replace the writing and audiobook jobs? Like, is that what really does it need to do that? Can we have AI work on the Board of Education and like streamlining the process of that, or trying to prevent shooters from going into schools, or even in a less contentious way, just driving the cab, pulling the cab, not driving the cab. The cab driver still needs a job, in my opinion, but like have the person holding onto the reins for the AI horse. Why not have that? You know, New York is a big tech giant, or is that Silicon Valley? Are they the same? They're a valley, right? There's valleys, there's peaks. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I went on this tangent, but what I'd like to say is that if it was raining, I'd like to go sing in it. And that's a great segue that didn't really make sense because Wicked and Moana are happening currently, right? And I really think actually what should have happened is that, you know how we had Barbenheimer, which was Barbie and Oppenheimer at the same time, and everybody was referencing as like this big tour de force weekend. And this year we did like sort of like Gladiator with Wicked at the same time. Well, it's really merged into more of like Wicked Moana time. So wanna I wanna go to the theater and see them both again. How about that? Although Moana 2 was not very good at all. And to which I'd like to put in what was actually missing from the movie. And it's a second for me to just really drink some water, but this is a clip of me singing when I saw Moana, the first one, in theaters. Yeah, it's a little bit of a vanity moment. Get over it. I just want to show my chops as a musical theater performer. Here we go. Wow, I'm giving you room to clap, and if you didn't give me a standing O, then you can go. Yeah, great vocals, amazing chops, really ready to go. That is from not Moana the musical, but that's from the offshoot in the parks called Hey Hey the musical, based on the chicken, which I would like to throw my hat in the ringer to play that as well. I think every week I'm just going to be auditioning for things that are never going to allow me to audition or happen. I guess that's like my new brand. Do you like that? You've got an hour to pitch yourself for another show, another movie, another it's a scandal, it's an outrage. What was that from? Is that from Oklahoma? Well, this Oklahoma would like to be in that because if it pays, it stays. That's what my banker says, I think. I don't really have an advisor. I don't have money like that yet. But once I play Hey Hey and the Moana knockoff musical, Hey Hey the musical, I am Moana. Okay, you ready? So, because we've had these two really big movie musicals, I'd like to talk to you about some other movies that you could watch this weekend. A lot of them are streaming. Most of them are on Max for some reason. I think because classic movies are like Turner Classic Movies, maybe even, but classic movies seem to have some sort of deal with. Oh, I needed a breath. Oh my God, get your breath support. Hey, hey. A lot of these movie musicals are on Max, so I don't know, look them up before you try to find them. But do you know what is considered the best musical movie of all time? It's Singing in the Rain. I was shocked by this. Now you see where that segue came in from earlier? Wow, ADHD I am ADHD, I guess. Yeah, that's I guess considered the best one of all time. And then I'm going to show you some facts and figures, which I'll just silently show you on the screen. And then if you're in the podcast, you won't be able to hear them or see them, which will be really riveting time for you. You're like, finally, I can catch my breath. If you're me, Adam, because I'm out of breath. This is let me tell you what the highest grossing movie musical of all time is. It's The Lion King, the remake from 2019. But I want to talk less about what's made the most money, and I want to talk about box office sales in terms of tickets. That's where I think we should be focusing our attention on more so than the money that it's driving, right? So I would have thought like maybe Frozen would be the one for this because how many people have freaking seen this movie over and over and over? Now, if you factor in how many times people have seen the rerun of something or have watched it and streamed it online, those are different numbers. There's not a conglomerate number of all of those things, and I don't think that accrued number. Yeah, there's not an accrued number for that I could find. So here are the numbers. Oh my gosh, this is not organized. Great. Here we go. So, Lion King made $1.6 billion. Remember that, right? Well, it's not even in the top 10 in terms of box office sales. Nope, that was totally wrong. Take two. Lion King made $1.6 billion, that 2019 remake, the CGI one, that it does look impressive, but it also is kind of like, huh, not only did we not really need this, it looks a little too realistic and it makes me uncomfortable for the animals. And also, why doesn't my animal sing? Why doesn't my animal have that capability? That confused me for a while. Maybe my candle's not lit at not only both ends, but it's not even lit in one end. Because who thinks that when they watch that film? I did. I genuinely did. I had stared at the dogs my parents have for a while after that movie came out and said, okay, when are you going to sing? I'm ready for a lullaby. And to which they said, bye. And then I lulled myself to sleep. So, in terms of ticket sales, though, The Lion King is only the sixth most box office sales in terms of tickets. The number one most sold ticket was for The Sound of Music, which sold almost twice as many seats. The Sound of Music, which came out in 1965 and stars Julie Andrews, and they should not remake this film. First of all, I don't want to watch a film about Nazis, and also it's just a classic, so leave it alone. Not the Nazis. I'm talking about like they escaped the Nazis, you know what I mean? I love the nuns. So 283 million seats were sold when this was released and through the re-releases as well. Because it did, before they had VCR tapes and DVD tapes, they would re-release movies a couple of times. And TV's helped with them not having to do that so much anymore. For better or for worse for these programs. But yeah, that's how they used to do things back in the day, if you didn't know that. And 283 million people went and physically bought a ticket. I'm sure some of these are repeat customers, but there were 283 million times that a person bought a seat for this and went and saw this movie. That's the number one most watched movie musical of all time. What? I would not have guessed it was that one. Number 2 and 3 were Indian-made movies, one from 1975, one from 1951. And then Snow White and the Seven Dwarves is the 1937 version, is the fourth most. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is the fifth, which that actually really makes sense because think about how many times they show that movie each year. There's always some live performance to watch as the movie's ongoing. People buy the seat, go and see it in local houses every year. It's such a cult classic. That's kind of impressive, though. Like, it's above The Lion King in terms of ticket sales. I found that fascinating, and I wanted to talk about it. Anyway, those are some great movie musicals that you could go and see this year if you would like, at the comfort of your own home. I don't think we need to talk about it any further. Other ones would include, as I immediately continue to do it, Frozen sold 133 million seats. Beauty and the Beast sold 123 million. That is the live action one. Then there's more movies. You can go look them up. I don't really care. Now, the most rewatched holiday movie online is something I find to be very interesting. Did you know that Home Alone is the most watched? 34% out of the choices that you could watch, it was Home Alone, then A Christmas Story, and then A Charlie Brown Christmas. Elf is number 5. I thought Elf would be number 2 or 3. I was kind of surprised, but they do play A Christmas Story all day long on Christmas Day, and You'll Shoot Your Eye Out is a great warning for anyone, and another reason why the NRA should maybe take a look at that film. Have they watched that film? Maybe they're not concerned because they haven't seen A Christmas Story. Maybe that's the way to win over the NRA and to get some gun control in this country. Maybe just Maybe just a little safety precaution. I don't know. Let's get them. That's my wish for them this year. Now, speaking of wishes, I don't know what you're planning to get for Christmas or want for Christmas, but do you know if you're on the naughty or nice list? You can ask Chat GPT. I didn't ask it because I already know which way I'm going, and I'm not telling you aloud because it's none of your business. But I did ask ChatGPT which celebrities were going to be on the naughty or nice list this year, and I think that that's a really interesting topic, just in general. It's a fun game to play with your family. Go and ask them, do you think so and so is on the naughty or nice list? And then you can ask ChatGPT what it thinks, and depending on how it answers, you could make it a drinking game, or you could make it a slap them game with a tortilla. You ever played the tortilla challenge with your family? It's where you put some water in your mouth and you slap each other with a tortilla until somebody spits theirs out, and then they've lost. And then I would argue the person that gets spit on is the one that lost. But who am I? I'm a glass half empty from eggnog kind of vibe. So the persons that are on the nice list, according to ChatGPT, are Keanu Reeves, hard agree. Zendaya, agree. Taylor Swift, okay. And then the people that are on the naughty list were Kanye West, so we're getting some bias here. They were like, Taylor's a yes, Kanye's a no. I'm like, what is this? Was this list made in 2005? Is this an old list? Nope, this is current. I said for the year 2024. Andrew Tate is on the naughty. Elon Musk is on the naughty. Now that I love. The last two, I'm loving it. You know what I mean? Anyone that thinks that they're an alpha, and this is part of my book. This is a little teaser for my book. Anyone that like touts that they're an alpha, you're probably a beta, first of all, and second of all, you're probably on the naughty list. You know what I mean? Like your objectives, I don't think they're pure. I don't think you have good intentions. I don't think you really. I don't want to know. I don't want you to say what you mean to say. I want you to say less. I want you to be quiet for a while. I want you to listen. And I want you to reflect on this. And I hope you receive coal this year. Yeah, maybe you'll try better in the new year. A lot of people that were villains this year got rewarded for their behavior. And I'm not really understanding that. I don't think that's a good pattern. I think that's a pattern that shouldn't be happening. Like, if you did demonstrative things against black people, and then you're out here front row seats, box office seats, to see a sporting event, and also meeting the president-elect, the racism isn't something that we should be condoning. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay? Because that was a direct reference to a couple of people. That happened a couple of times. All right, let's move on to something lighter. So, we're running towards the end of the time here on my segment. But I do want to say something really interesting that I found is that the number one most liked Christmas song, I'm not saying most played because Mariah Carey's is still the most, All I Want for Christmas Is You, is still the holiday's biggest seller for, I believe it's the 12th year in a row, but this is also the year that it reached the 12th milestone for Billboard Hot 100 number one. The week of December 9th, it reached number one again for the 12th time. But the number one most liked Christmas song, according to polls that were done in the States, and we know how polls go, and a little triggering for everybody this year because the polls didn't match what we thought. But Jingle Bells is the number one most liked Christmas song. And when I read that, I said, you know what? I agree with that. I do agree with that. And I happen to be from North Carolina, have lived in New York, and do live in California currently. So those three states are three of the states that said it. It ranks by state. It's a really fun thing to go Google. You should go look and see what your state has voted on and see if you agree with it or if you want to move. So Last Christmas is my favorite song in totality. That song by Wham, Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. It's like a sad song. It's a little bit depressing. I like a depressing seasonal cocktail. Michigan is the only state that voted for that one. So maybe I should move there. No. If you happen to love All I Want for Christmas Is You, you could move to Wisconsin or New Jersey. That's the two states that voted for that one. I'm going to just pick a random state and tell you what they picked. Oregon picked Deck the Halls, and Oklahoma picked run, Rudolph, run. I don't know why I just picked those two states, but sometimes it's fun to just like spin the globe and pick where to go. I say to my sugar daddies all the time. I don't have any, but that's what I imagine I would do if someone that I was married to had just infinite amounts of money and they're like, "What do you want to do today?" I'd like to go to Malta. I don't even know what Malta is, but I'm going because you're paying for it and you asked. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first segment. I'd like to end by saying what I don't know that I'll be watching is the Spike Lee adaptation. They're doing a new version of a classic movie by Akira Kurosawa, High and Low, 1963. It was a kidnapping drama. It's a classic film called High and Low. The Spike Lee will be remaking. Sometimes he does this. He like remakes classic movies with a modern lens, and I think that's interesting. A lot of films are that they're reinterpretations of a play or a book or a film that previously existed, and you give a modern spin on it. But I don't know if I'm going to be watching this particular one specifically because Ice Spice is going to be in it, and if we're making casting choices like that, I'm not a hater of Ice Spice, but I'm not really particularly understanding why that would be chosen. Like, did you watch her performance on SNL? Enough said. I'm not getting it. The whole house just shook. We're not even in an earthquake zone, so Santa didn't like that. Maybe Santa just landed on the roof to tell me, like, hey, I love Ice Spice. She's going to be great in this film. Now you're on the naughty list. She's on the nice list. That's fine. I'll accept that. I'll accept that hate. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Someone that's definitely on the naughty list is not only Elon Musk, but his mother, May Musk. She went on an interview this week and said, you know what? Everybody should have kids even if they can't afford it because you don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to go to dinner. And someone in the comments really pointed out why she would say that. She said, it's giving Marie Antoinette. Ma'am, you're a supervillain whose own children don't like him. And if I was to translate, it would be you don't have to do anything that brings you joy. Your sole purpose should be to procreate. So me and my family can make more money off the backs of you and those kids once they're adults. Yeah, I think that summarizes that family really well. Don't you? I think that's the naughtiest person that we could have had on this list is the Musk family. Now, as we head into the break, I've teased this about 4 times. I'd like to give a shout out to South Korea, who impeached the president, President Yoon, after failed marital law attempt and mass protest this week. Now, that's something that we should take note from in the event that, as a democracy anywhere in the globe, wherever you're listening from, we should all look to that as an example of if people are doing bad things, we should try to impeach them. And it's wonderful to think of a society such as South Korea that not only an impeachment would have enforcement in terms of removal, but protests work. Okay, love to see it. Now, final list of naughty people is also all the Trump appointees for the House committees. Well, excuse me, those are two separate things. Take two. All of the House committee individuals that are going to be the House committee people. Take three. For the first time in 2 decades, no woman will lead a House committee. So every white man that is leading a House committee, which it's only white men on this list, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with white men, but the fact that it's only white men and there is no diversity, equity, and inclusion on this list is a huge red flag. You know, to call anyone that's not a white man diversity, equity, and inclusion is a sad statement in and of itself. But every single one of these House committee individuals, you're on the naughty list. And Santa, do your thing. Thank you so much. All right, during the break, I'm going to try and understand and decipher. Google has announced that its new supercomputer, a chip called Willow, has accessed parallel universes and that the metaverse may be real. I'm going to try to process and understand that and also try to figure out last minute what I can get my family for Christmas for $0. You know, I met a girl at a party this week that told me that she actively she finds steals at Target. But she didn't mean like she finds good deals. She meant she steals from Target. And I don't know why she said that with her full chest. But there's something that I might be taking from that. Target, that is, for my family. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on the naughty list, huh? I don't like the voice that they choose for the recording in progress. Do you like it?
No, no, heck no. Oh my God. First of all, she doesn't even sound warm.
No, she's not inviting.
No. She's like, you're fucked. Like that's what she
Which actually, now it's fitting because I don't know what I'm doing. So great, good for her. She knows the brand. So, Shelby, Renesmee is back and it's giving Christmas. I don't know.
Kristen.
I don't know if I'm going to label you as Renesmee again or if I should pick a different name for you. I have to figure that part out. Are you resonating with Renesmee still? How are you feeling about that?
I mean, like, listen, like, I kind of am just a raggedy ass doll that has a melting face come to life. Like, that's not far off from the truth.
Okay, I am not going to comment on that. I am not seeing you in this light, but as I'm holding a literal Muppet here for Linda LaFay, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll make a Shelby puppet next. So
Oh,
first off, your episode was highly blessed and favored by the audience. I want to give you some love.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my
You
God.
were, yeah, you were a major request to come back. Like everyone was like loving Shelby. That's my kind of girl. Like bring her to the
Mom?
parties. Yeah, a bunch of people were saying this. Like, I have like
Oh, I'm
five
like,
people that listen to the podcast regularly, but three out of the five immediately texted me and were like, I gotta humble us a little, but three out of the five immediately were like, I love Shelby, bring her back.
listen, as long as Linda LaFay was one of them, that's all I care about.
Oh, no, she was. I actually have a direct quote from her. So, what a good segue, Shelby.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so you got a shout out from the parents. She said she's very mature.
no one's
She
ever
like,
said that to me before.
I no, I was gonna say, like, this is like a new adjective. It's like if you played Mad Libs or Mad Gab, whatever that is, where you fill in the blank and put an adjective. That's not the one for us.
Never.
Never. Well, take it, put it in the bank, put it in special skills. Can be very mature.
Adding it to my resume.
Yes. And she liked the clarity with which you speak. She was like, you have great foresight on, or maybe it's hindsight. I don't know which one. She said it correctly. I didn't. I was like listening, but she said you have great hindsight or foresight on where you've been and how you've gotten to where you are. And she loved hearing your journey on changing lanes. She loved it.
God, love her. Love her so much.
Yeah, how does it feel to be called mature?
It's a new feeling for me, and so I'm
Mm.
processing it to speak.
Processing in real time. Wow, what a
And I'm
moment.
like, is this my next leaf? Is that I become some mature, wise person instead of a silly little goose?
Yes, a silly little goose. And I love the reference to the leaves because we're in our holiday era right now. So it's like the leaves are falling from the tree, and this is the new leaf that Shelby's gonna grow. Ooh, metaphor.
Yes, I am orange and red and crusty on the ground.
Wait, oh, we have to talk about the nails. They're not any of those adjectives. They look fabulous.
You. I just got them done today. I asked a girl who's amazing. I said, let my nails look like a melted chocolate bar on my hand. And she
Oh,
immediately said, darker milk. Like she gets it. And so she
immediate.
delivered dark chocolate, like just like a glass of red wine, kind of. Oh, yeah, she can.
Now, what Shelby failed to mention is that she goes to an Oompa Loompa that does her nails. So this is like very Willy or will won't they Wonka.
I no, but seriously, shout out to Tristan. Like I trust you with my
Oh,
life.
Tristan.
Tristan, she is a god.
Ah,
She is a goddess. She is grace. She is Miss United States.
yes, give me Miss Congeniality.
Had to keep up. Had to give a goddess.
I love it. Okay, so look, we're gonna hop right into it because we only have an hour, and people have been complaining that I take too long on this fucking show. So we're gonna really do an hour.
Get bent.
Get bent. Yeah, truly. Okay, so this is going to be an interview, quote unquote, but really it's just an excuse for you and I to play games for an hour because that's where we thrive. That's what we love. And I think, honestly, given how well received that your last interview, quote unquote, went, I think that let's just do a victory lap. Like, let's just have fun and discover each other's holiday specificities.
Oh my God, love it. Okay.
Okay, but before we hop in, I already have a detour. So I've been applying for PR jobs because I'm like, maybe this is a new route for me to go into, because like, our arena is sort of like crumbling before us. But I'm like, what if you and I were on a PR team together? She's smiling, but I can't tell if she's just being nice because we're on Zoom together or if
So
she loves this idea.
here's the thing, because last time we talked about half-baked business ideas. And
Oh, and
like
this is half baked.
in theory, this is a great idea because we are, I feel like, demented enough to like know all the ways something could go wrong, and like but we're able to spin it to a positive, like all the things that happen to us in our six senses of humor, and we find a positive.
Our
Like
sixth sense, like the ghost arena?
ill ill six.
Oh, got it. Okay. I also don't think that's what it is. Isn't it six the number? Wait, no, that's what I said first. No, you were right. Continue.
We have a sick mind.
Yes,
We have two sick minds, and
I'm
I
there
feel like
now.
we're able to make things funny, like even like the really like messed up stuff. So I think like we'd be good at PR. The half-baked part comes in the fact that neither you or I have any business sense. Well, I'll speak for myself. You probably have some more than I do.
No, I don't have much. I'm not gonna oversell myself by any means. I think where I actually probably would get into trouble is that I'm gonna make too many jokes and I have to really like bring it down and be demure, which is a word that needs to retire immediately.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've been recently told that I'm mature. So I I can help
You
you with
really
that.
ran with that immediately.
Oh, I literally just I Forrest Gumped my way with that one. I
You
just kept
did. And speaking of life is like a box of chocolates, they're on the nails. All right. Well, anyway, that's something to think about. And also, like, what I love about people in PR is that they're always like these party animals that like just happen to get enough work done and they're paid a lot of money. Although maybe now that I'm saying that, I'm just realizing this is the whole plot of Absolutely Fabulous, and I don't think this is based in reality.
just describe the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right. That's not what they're doing. Okay, shout out to those people. I'll never work in that business. All right, here we go. I've been working on my interview skills. So you're sort of like my beta subject to see if this goes well. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to have you rank how I did,
Oh my God,
like a
I'm so excited. I
like
love
a
I
Yelp
love to see
review.
that.
Now it's very much a shtick. Like it's a shtick that needs to stick. So we've started the clock. Right now we're at 3 minutes. And anything before the 3 minutes doesn't count. So if we go over time, just know that as an audience member. Okay. Being basic at the holidays, a very Caucasian Christmas party on the season of the Catherine O'Hara's. From Home Alone to Beetlejuice and every nightmare in between, because she played Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas, let's travel up Styx Creek to see what these wet bandits think on the holidays. Okay.
Oh
First
God.
off, if we were in Home Alone, what would our robber pact be? Because they were the wet bandits and the sticky bandits. What would our robber pact be? This is our
Like, what
first
would our
question.
name?
Yeah.
Like I
We
feel
got to
like
start with this. We got to start with the shtick, though. Like, what would our shtick be? Like, are we leaving the water running? Are we leaving fingerprints? Like, what's our stupid little thing that we're mistaking, but we're doing it as an imprint?
you know what it would be? It would be like I feel like it would be like doing like the most like minor of inconveniences, like taking out the batteries from a remote,
Oh
or
yes,
like
yes. I love that. I love that because I don't want it to be like. Immediately, my little gay brain was like, "We're gonna leave like pink ribbons on the door." Like, no, Adam, we're not doing that. We're not doing ribbons down my back. This is not Hello Dolly. We're not doing it.
it would have to be like the stupidest thing that
Yes.
like we just risked our freedom to
Yeah.
go in the house and take out the fucking batteries from a remote. Like, and
Yeah.
only I would think that that's actually funny. Or
Yeah.
like
No.
like leave the refrigerator door open, or like we take the chip clips off of the bag of chips so they got
Oh,
stale.
I
Like,
got one. What if we took, you know how people have the DVD case? We're just like switching the DVDs inside the cases.
oh my God, that's mayhem.
That's like a real power move. I actually did that one time in college with a friend. We were at a party and we did that. We like she had just broken up with the boy and she was like, "What's a way that I can get even with him?" And I was like, "I know the Carrie Underwood song just came out, but we're not going to do a Louisville Slugger to the we're not doing that. Let's
Yeah.
just take the DVDs and let's rearrange them inside the cases cuz then you'll know if he ever complains about something, you had that power move over him." All right. Okay. So what would that name be? Inconvenience?
Oh,
The Inconvenience Bandits?
it could be like the
The Battery Bandits?
um wait, I'm trying to think of is that's even a word. Um
Mature?
no.
The mature bandits?
Everything I described was not
Yeah.
mature. But
Yeah,
oh,
immediately not mature. Linda's gonna be like, never mind.
it'd be like it would be like the minor inconveniencers.
Oh, so we would be the
Like
MI.
the MIs and like but everything would have to be a minor inconvenience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I love that.
Be like, oh, that bag of Lay's went stale. Like something just
Not the Jennifer Coolidge impression.
oh, I wish. Or like I would take like a shower in their bathroom and just like let all my hair get stuck in the drain and not clear it. Like
Oh my
that
God.
literally something my boyfriend is like, please remove your hair from the shower.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, here. Okay. Let's start with this. Not we already started, Adam. What am I saying? Great interview skills. Okay, what's your favorite holiday? That's a great baseline for the audience.
Christmas. I'm a whore for Christmas.
She so is, and I'm so Halloween, and we're like right at the bookends of those that
We
season.
are Nightmare Before Christmas.
We are okay. This is a question I had later, but I'm going to bring it up because you just said it. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie? Like, when are you watching it canonly?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked, Adam.
Yes,
Um,
you're welcome. These are hard pressing questions. Dun dun. Wait, that's Law and Order. Oh no, not that. Not
I don't know.
that.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a Nightmare Before Christmas fan.
Me too.
I have a Jack Skellington onesie.
Mm.
It's like anything like weird and like creepy and Tim Burton I really like. So the appropriate answer for this, I like to say is after Halloween. Like don't watch it before Halloween because the Christmas kind of crosses over. So like let's talk like November 1st. Then
Okay.
watch it. You don't want to watch it
Oh.
like of Christmas, but like here's what I like to do. Like if I'm like decorating for Christmas or if I'm wrapping presents, I'll throw that on because it's just like a holiday season kind of movie. But it's not Christmas, but it's also not Halloween, you know? So
Is it
it's
more of
all
a Thanksgiving movie then?
you know what? There is a turkey in one of the scenes. There is a Thanksgiving turkey, like it's on like the little doors to the
You better give
season.
me a deep cut. Oh yeah,
Uh
on the doors. Yeah, because there's the Easter door, there's the Lucky Charms door, whatever
yeah,
holiday that is.
yeah.
What's the Lucky Charms holiday? Oh, St. Patrick's.
Okay.
Okay, Adam. Right. Okay. We're in our Kellogg's era, and that we're not sponsored, so throw that right out the window. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know. I always watch it the night before Christmas with my sister.
Cute.
Yeah, we always drag my brother into it too, but he always falls asleep or is bored by it. But like it's our thing. Every year we do that.
There's not enough Christmas in it for me, like to like
Right?
it's Christmas, but like it's also like it's like literally the movie starts on like okay guys great it's Halloween we did our little dance and it's done see you next year so it's not a Halloween movie
No,
it's
it's not.
Christmas.
Yeah, because the majority of it is Christmas. He's like literally out here trying to be Santa. I just love the idea of like it's sort of like Ozimpa's wet dream. You know? It's like look at this corpse going around and giving out presents.
Honestly we could have a whole episode just about that movie there are so many things in that movie that I'm
Oh yeah, the
like
nuances are unreal. Tim's brain in that is so good.
or in that movie that like no one ever talks about that I'm just like we're just gonna watch this with children okay.
Yeah, no, it's so not a children's movie, and I love it. My favorite character is the little guy with the axe in his head. That's like Oh God, what does he say? He always says the most crazy things. I'll put a quote in later because I can't remember any of it. But do you know what I'm talking about? He like bounces around and he's like, "Hope he isn't dead." That little guy.
Yes.
Hope he hasn't died. That guy. That's him. Wow, not me working on that impression before this. Okay, yeah, slay. Yeah, yeah, that movie really is like Ozempic's wet dream. I said Ozympia earlier. Like, what was that? That's not even the right term. Okay. Okay, name something that should be a holiday uh, themed food item that isn't. I don't want to hear like collards and black eyed peas because that is canonly like New Year's Day, but like name something in a holiday that should be a food item that's specific for it.
Like, okay, so is it something that you do have on that holiday, or it's something that like you don't have on holiday? You're like, you know what, you should eat it for this.
You could give me a deep take. It could be either way, but something that you for sure are like, this should be for this holiday. This is when it should be. I'll start. I'll give you an example, okay? I think barbecue chips should only be out on 4th of July time. I don't think they should be around the rest of the year. Sorry, Dad. They're his favorite chip, but I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them, and I don't like the dust from it at all. It's more of a dust thing, actually.
The the pilgrims were not like getting a case of Velveeta and like like
Not us
making
basing it off of the pilgrims. I already can't with this.
it. Well, I do like to dress like a pilgrim for the holiday. But
Yes, and I might use that as the advertisement for this whole podcast now, actually.
there's a picture
You've
of
got a
me.
pilgrim.
Here's the thing. There is an actual, this happened 2 years in a row. Sorry, this is getting into a tangent.
No, please do. I like this.
Me and like one of my like dearest friends, like we used to work in office
Rude. It
together.
wasn't me.
It wasn't you. I didn't know who you were.
No, I didn't
And
exist yet.
you didn't. You were still in the womb.
I was.
And despite us being the same age. But like our first like year working in this office together, I had this idea where I was like, we should come into work. It was like the day before Thanksgiving break. I was like, we should come into work dressed as pilgrims. And like he was like, oh my God, yes, we're gonna do it. Let's go. And so I come into this office fully dressed as a pilgrim. I'm talking hat, like the top, the like the pants. Like I am dressed as a full-on pilgrim. I walk in, this motherfucker was wearing a plaid shirt.
Are
And
you kidding me?
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm sitting there all day dressed as a fucking pilgrim in the office. And he's like, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot. And so then next year rolls around and he's like, we're doing it. And so we do have a picture. I mean, he really did go all out. He had like a little like white puffy collar thing. I was wearing like it was like a Victoria Beckham dress, so it was like chic, but it had like these big white like collar things and on the wrist. And I also had the hat on again too. And like we walked around dressed as pilgrims the entire day. And the best part was nobody said a word. Like everybody,
What?
but here's the thing, everybody was just like, we expected this. Like
Yeah.
us stupid things in the office were that like that wasn't riveting. Like it was
Not
on.
us doing something for attention and not receiving the attention we wanted, you know?
I'm like, hello, do you see the bit?
Are you there? Are you getting it? Is it clicking?
So we did it 2 years. Well, I did 2 years in a row. He and I did it that year together. But there is photographic evidence of us
Oh yeah,
in
I'm
the.
definitely gonna need that photo. And also, I would have dressed like a witch. Like we would have done a full-blown production of The Crucible had I been there. Slay in a Wintour, slay.
Tour.
How do you feel about a white elephant?
I
The
hate it.
party, not an actual white elephant. Like I don't
I
care how the
hate.
elephant looks.
I have so many issues with the white elephant exchange. The
Me
first
too.
person I don't like. I've actually gotten actually offended and mad at white elephant gift exchanges because like I don't like that you can steal somebody's gift.
No,
And
that's
so
not fair.
I once actually somebody stole the gift from me and I threw it across like the seating area. Like I was pissed that they stole the gift.
Drama, and it's like a $5 gift. You were like so up in arms about
No,
it.
it was like a pretty good one. It was like a gift card. But like
Oh,
don't give me something fucking stupid. Then now I have to make a donation to Goodwill, and I feel like an asshole giving this to Goodwill. Like they're like, we
yeah.
don't even, it's, you know.
Your will was not good when you dropped this off. Mm-mm.
Also, like, I'm a pretty good gift giver. Wow, look at me just giving myself compliments. I'm actually pretty good at
Yeah, you
giving gifts.
gifted yourself a compliment.
Exactly. And 5 stars. And I will, like, even if it's a white elephant gift exchange, like I will make sure it's like a good gift, like somebody would want to get. And then I get stuck with like some stupid fucking dirty mitt without the without the like.
I mean, that is the curse of being a good gift giver is like you never really have it reciprocated in the same veins.
Well, here's the thing. I do like I'm a good gift giver and I like to give gifts for like literally anything. Like a housewarming gift or like a whatever. Like I like to
Not
give
me moving closer so I can get gifts.
like you're like it's just sending your address. But
Yeah.
like I like this
I'm
for
like,
all.
today's National Donut Day.
But like I will supply lists like for Christmas. This is something we did like since we were a kid. We were kids. My parents were like, give us Christmas lists. And to me, it makes all the sense in the world. Like the holidays are already stressful enough. Like, why would you not tell somebody like you're choosing to give me a gift? Thank you so much. Here is a certified list sent to the notary of things that if you got me anything from this list, options, because I never give like a short little list. There's always at least like 30 items on this list. Like anything on this list, I like. You don't have to worry about like, oh, you're probably gonna hate it. Why would you get somebody a gift you think they're probably gonna hate?
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No, so
That's the true white elephant.
I operate off of lists. I love a list. I require a list for Christmas, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not going into this blind.
I will say one of my favorite gifts I ever received from a white elephant is there was this dog, you know those like headless, well, I don't know why I said do you know these headless. It was a headless dog, like its head was in the ground. Do you know Headless? Do you know Sir Headless? But his head was in the ground and you'd push a button and then his leg would kick up. It was like a weird animatronic and I was like who in like what was the need for this from the audience standpoint? Like who asked for this?
That sounds like a dance move I used to do back in the bars in 2015.
Shelby was such a fun guest. It was so good to have her back on. And actually, she'll be on a third time next week. It was the same session, but we ran out of time. You know, we've only got an hour. So next week, she's going to be on for just a little bit in the beginning. And then we'll hop into a discussion with a pastor's wife. One of my friends, Megan. She's going to be on next week. So we'll see you then. And everybody's running around crazy for Christmas. I hope this brought you the energy that you needed to do the shopping or the shoplifting that you needed to do. Not that I condone that, but I'm not judging it. I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I was told not to do that growing up, so I'm not gonna. And now I'm going to do what I talked about last week as a teaser and read another segment from my book. Chapter 4. Oh, we're out of time. I guess you'll have to buy the book when it ever comes out. And if you're an agent, hi, I'm looking to be repped across the board for talent, including writing. I've got a full comedy book that I've written. It's 45,000 words, which is about 12 more than I said during this hour-long program. Thank you so much. Everybody have a safe holiday. Have a wonderful holiday with your family, chosen family, or just by yourself. And if you don't celebrate at all, mazel. That's amazing too. Love to you and yours. And we will see you for the final episode for the year next week with Baby New Year. And also Mrs. Claus.